Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome. It's Star Ladder Series Season 12 America. We're in Phase 2 and the very end of this 4-team double elimination bracket. Right here before us, we're going to have Wheel take on Complexity. Both of these squads have been brought down, I believe both by Team Tinker, who is now waiting for the final matchup, and only one of these two teams is going to meet them there on the final stage. And then we get to find out which one American team is going to make their way to Bucharest to represent America. But before we go, we got Wheel duking it out with Complexity. I'm KotLGuy, not going at it alone. I got my good buddy, residential NA Dota expert and Super Metroid fanatic, Maut. Welcome back, my friend. How's it going, man?
Thank you for having me. It's going pretty well, and I got to say, Dakota, I'm very excited for this matchup. Complexity versus Wheel should be a good one. A lot of, if you've watched the NA Dota scene for a while, you've probably heard most, if not all, of these names. Derp, Ix, Mike, Relic, Fan of Soyens, Liesel, Swindle, Fogged, ZYZZZ Freak, of course Simba, not really NA Dota, but at the same time, pretty exciting stuff between these two squads. Wheel, of course, taking down Void Boys in an epic 3-game series last night. Complexity, like you mentioned, going down to Tinker in the winners bracket finals. We'll see who moves on to face up against Tinker in just a second. Will get off to a fast start, picking up none other than the big manly red dude himself, Axe. He's got a big blade. We'll see what he can do with it.
Yeah, it's a good way to make a good exclamation point at the start of your draft. But I'm going to go ahead throwing up right now the bracket for everyone to see the journey we've gone through to get to today. And remember, it just started with 4 teams in Phase 2. There was a Phase 1 where more teams tried to battle it on out, but these were the 4 at the top. Void Boys, Complexity, Tinker, and Wheel. It was yesterday we saw Void Boys who had to go home, as it was going to be Wheel who bested them. So we're going to find out which team is going to look to beat the more unstoppable squad of Tinker. Now with Black on their side, they seem to look pretty sharp, but we'll find out here. And yeah, that's the sound of Troll. And look who he is with. Mr. Frickin' Paper. We got Sniper and Troll side by side. This is Dota right here. Axe, Sniper, Troll. What have we done?
The ugly duo.
What have we done?
The ugly duo of Sniper and Troll. Troll's got a giant red face, a huge nose. Sniper is like pig-faced, and he laughs like a little asshole. So
yeah, he is. This is ridiculous, and already you could hear murmurs. We've had 80-minute games, 90-minute games, and some people feel like this is the hero to blame. Sniper. Remember back in the day, believe it or not, Keeper of the Light was a first pick, first ban kind of a hero. He used to stall games out and just felt like you couldn't do anything to break through. He got nerfed, he fell off the weight side, and we don't even know if that hero exists anymore. Then came forward Tinker. Tinker was there, prolonging games. His March of the Machines, his quick farm, it was just in your face, and there was always that comeback factor. Then he got hit with that nerf stick. And many people feel that now it's Sniper, with his new shrapnel, his new way to kind of get in a good crucial position deep inside that base, and there just seems to be no way to break through that tremendous high ground defense. So really, when you got a Sniper and Troll together, it's just the formula for some impressive late game. But here we go, already looking to bring some late game themselves. Wheel have no problem, you know, putting off their support picks as well, and they grab a Spectre here. So both teams just like, here are my cores. What are you going to do about it?
Yeah, this is a very interesting second pick. I mean, how often in Dota have we seen Spectre get picked up in the second slot? But that is how highly a lot of these North American teams value the hero up against the Sniper specifically. Oh, yeah. We've seen what Spectre can do in the late game. We saw Pat still have success yesterday. In NEL, I've seen this hero a ton of times, a lot of which Tralf has picked up, specifically against Sniper and among other heroes. But Spectre is definitely one of Wheel, well, I think it'll become one of Wheel's go-to heroes, especially against this duo. They'll try to learn how to play up against it. And, I mean, if you want to provide late-game potential, Spectre is one of the heroes to do so. We'll also do the smart thing. The past couple of drafts for Complexity, Storm and Earthshaker have been their 1-2 punch. They ban out both of the heroes. They also ban out the Vengeful Spirit, which is a hero they love to run themselves, but they're not going to grab it. Instead, we'll have to see what supports they do want to get. Maybe Witch Doctor, Line should still be available. No Lena for Wheel to pick and throw mid against the Sniper, which would be a fairly good matchup. But it's tough, man. What do you throw up against mid? Like, do you go Queen of Pain maybe to try to deal with the sniper.
Yeah.
What else is there?
That was something I was reaching for. Maybe you consider someone who can, use that blink capability to close the gap and can get in the face of sniper. And I think Queen of Pain is a great candidate for that. Yep. And I think it'd be something that Wheel should strongly consider. But here we go. Complexity finally moving to their support staff by grabbing one of the prize supports themselves. It's going to be the Lion. Quick Hex, quick Disable. Can work good with those pesky Haunt illusions as well. You get to instantly remove them with your Hex or with your Mana Draining even. And he's got great burst capability. So you really can't go wrong with a pick like that. So just picking up in the middle, this is the luxury when you get those respect bands earlier in the draft. You leave a lot of these top priority pickups, both support and core, available in the pool, and we get to see some real hard-hitting Dota. This is already looking like it could be quite the bloodbath here. Both these teams are looking to really scramble with what they're going to do to deal with the other side's core, or what they can do to make theirs that much better. And that's where someone like Omni Knight pops up, and he's like, I'm looking to make it that we can have the longevity in these fights, that we can just withstand the brute onslaught or the brute force onslaught that Troll's going to bring, maybe during his initial BKB period. And then we quickly drop down the Guardian Angel and try to flip the script onto him. But he also helps out a lot in the laning phase, being your babysitter, your protector, and you think at one moment you get a good jump-in opportunity, then he comes out with his pure damage purification, and you get punched in the face with some serious hurt, and it can work out really nicely with someone like Axe. The only thing I fear is what most Omni Knight players do is the laning phase. Could be a bit fickle.
I think the classic matchup is the Omni Knight Axe dual lane, and the off lane is very common because of how solid those two heroes together are. Cloud9 ran it a lot for a long time. I've seen other teams go for it as well. You get the Orb of Venom, Degen Aura, and then Axe just kind of runs at people with his early point in the counter helix, and it's very difficult to deal with. However, in this situation, you're going up against a Lion and a Troll Warlord. Lion has a lot of base damage. He has plenty of utility coming out with the Earth Spike and the Hex. Troll Warlord specifically also with the range axes. It's very difficult to fight up against them. So we'll see how they decide to lane it for Wheel. For complexity, they don't allow Wheel to grab a Queen of Pain mid. They pick it up for themselves, which is actually interesting. Maybe it's actually off-lane Queen of Pain. That makes more sense because Troll safe lane, Sniper mid lane. So maybe go off-lane Queen of Pain and then have a pretty good time against maybe a Spectre in a 1v1 kind of matchup. We'll see what they want to do. Scarith now coming up from Wheel, a very solid support. Silence is going to be very important for that Queen of Pain and for a lot of heroes in general. So we'll see how things turn out. I don't know, man. I feel like complexity, maybe getting a bit greedy with that Queen of Pain pickup. I know I'm not a big fan of off-lane co-op, to be honest, but I've seen worse things.
Yeah, maybe just putting a lot in making sure that Wheel don't get the Queen of Pain. Could have been a small deny pick there, but really, as of recent, Queen of Pain seems to be the standard mid, but I've seen her in that off lane, and even as of recent, Alliance, I believe, PyCat did a roaming Queen of Pain. He didn't have the best record, but they got the win, I believe, and that's what counts. So Complexity can really get flexible with this, and I'm just as curious to see what they're going to be doing with it. In response, though, Wheel pick up the illustrious Skywrath Mage. Great silence to have against someone like a Queen of Pain, who might not be able to get an initial BKB early on, and you already have an Axe on your team for that bit of lockdown, so you could just kind of drop down the Mystic Flare Hammer and make it work. And man, I like that ban because that was something Relic really did a lot work with yesterday. Remember his freaking Wind Ranger, man? That was out of control. So what are you left now for Wheel and Relic in this mid lane? I mean, Puck was something he used to play a lot. It was the one that he took down Arteezy with, but we don't see a lot of Pucks in the mid lane. I mean, I don't know.
Sniper against Puck seems pretty terrible. Like, Puck has a pretty bad matchup against this. And that goes for a lot of heroes in the current metagame. Yeah. Sniper's just so hard to deal with. It's tough, man. There's a couple of options still left in the pool. I think Zeus might be okay, honestly. I think that's probably a fine
What about
matchup.
Viper? They do need some range. You got to consider the fact that Axe, Spectre, Omni Knight, this is a lot of melee heroes. They need a way to kind of dish a little bit of damage from the outside.
Viper can be okay. Viper can be okay, especially early on. Like, if Sniper's not careful, he could get run at, but Complexity Gaming's last support is the Undying, and now you really can't go for the aggressive dual lane with the Omni Knight Axe. I mean, you could try and see what happens. But Undying, man, he just runs at you, drops down the tombstone, hopefully getting some double decays off as well. He becomes beefy, almost more beefy than the Axe will be in that Slave lane, if that is the case. But it's a hero I love, and I love that Complexity go for it. We'll see, man. We'll see how this does pan out for Complexity. I'm a bit skeptical myself between the Queen of Pain and the Undying, but I'm a big fan. We'll see what
Undying
happens.
is laning phase is absolutely ridiculous, and I could have sworn I read not that long ago, might have been on the low Reddit, but they were talking about Spectre and her viability in the metagame right now. It might have been one of those big chunky posts, but people were all talking about how Undying is one of the go-tos if you want to really take it to a Spectre player in that laning phase, and I'm curious if that's something Complexity are going with here, and if they can find a way to match this Undying against the Spectre in lane, she could have her hands full. And whoa, hello TI4, how's it going? That's Death Prophet right there, and I feel like this is something where maybe they just didn't have a whole lot of options, or they're like, we don't want this to go late. We're going to get objectives quick, try to get some gold going right to Spectre, and then look to kind of get the job done from there. But what an interesting pickup. We haven't seen a Death Prophet in quite a while.
I mean, I'm worried about Relic just, like, getting blown up early on to the game by a sniper, but, like, even if he has his ultimate up, like, Swindle's not going to be that close to the ghosts, honestly. The extra system won't be doing that much damage to him specifically, I think. And I think Swindle could just blow up the Death Prophet. And not only that, I mean, like, it's kind of like the Lena where you want wave clear in order to, like, hit the sniper and do damage to him and kind of be aggressive early on in the laning phase. But it's a hero that I wasn't expecting, and I've said this before, but, like, I hate this hero. I honestly, like, in my own personal opinion, if Death Prophet was just taken out of the game and, like, literally just deleted from existence, I don't think I would have any problem with that whatsoever. I'm not a big fan, but it's still a good hero in this situation, I think. They could push out towers. They could create a lot of space for the Spectre. It's very difficult to fight into, much like the Tombstone on the other side of things. But here we go. Some 5-man aggression coming out from the Radiant Complexity. It looks like Cecil has spotted Fogged Out and the rest of the squad behind him. And I don't anticipate them to try to fight this.
They're looking to kind of get the ball rolling right away. They move as a 5-man hit squad to get a pretty assertive blocking war. Now they're going to see each other in the river. Does anyone make a commitment? And it looks like Wheeler a bit hesitant here. They only have the 4 while they leave Mike there at the bottom, who's one of the better people to have on your side for a level 1 engagement. So they play it cautiously and safe, and they will be able to block that pull camp from Sleesel. And how is the sentry ward situation here? I'm checking over Skyrath. He's got nothing. Derp does. He's got 2 wards to work with to get that, but he's in the mid lane right now as they get some early harassment here on the Swindle Melons. And any little bit you can is certainly helpful. He already has to use 1 of only 2 shared tangos.
Take that, you goddamn sniper.
Yeah, screw you and your peeping.
Ziz is going to get away. They get the bounty rune. Complexity grab both bounty runes. And it's not like, you know, we'll have like a jungling hero or anything. They could have been able to contest that, although with the Spectre, it's not necessarily the easiest thing. So there's like a stat, I think Montpax was saying the other day, where it's like 60% of the time, if you get both bounty runes, you win the game. Oh, wow. I don't know how true that is. He might have made that up. Honestly, I have no idea. I trust the guy. But it's probably a good start for Complexity as they're going aggro dual lane. The Undying Queen of Pain, you called it, man. Undying, he's running at the Spectre.
It's
and
so
just
good.
like that, Sleesel's going to have a very, very tough time. He has 435 HP. Oh, my Lord. That is
You just want to be in there. You got to get these creeps, but you can't deal with this decay. And Z-Frig is just going to get in his face. And this is the prime of Undying. He falls off real quick later, but in his laning phase, he is a beast. And he will just continue to stack up the strength, and you just got to get out of his way. But you can't. You got to make sure you get the farm, otherwise you're going to be falling behind for everywhere else. And, well, let's check it out. We got Swindle taking on Relic mid lane. I can't help but also make sure I keep tabs on that, but I can't also keep away from top. They're making a go at TLK. Look at the return right here. They might get it. Lingering right-click. The salve is going to keep him nice and tidy. He will have to use it, but he is alive. And they will be able to walk away. So the good thing that they got going here for Wheel is having the 3 by their side, having Omni Knight at the ready just in case. But you can already feel the pressure building up now between both these teams.
Z-Freak had 5 charges of decay at 1.5 stacks of it. Pretty tanky dude when you get all that strength going your way. But the problem with spamming out decay early on in the game is that you don't have the mana to drop the tombstone down if you want to fight. He has 1 clarity, but that decay only served to harass early on. When it gets later on down the road, I don't really know. Like, he needs arcanes, and he's not really farming in this situation. So it's kind of a weird aggressive playstyle coming out from Z-Freak. But It has secured them a bit of a lead here in this top lane, at least for now. They almost lose TLK or Simba, but he's fine. Mid lane, there is a lead for Relic, which is unsurprising. Swindle's base damage until he hits like level 5 is pretty terrible. And Crypt Swarm is a really good CSing ability, but I expect he's going to rotate into the jungle. He's not having a good time in the off lane. He decides to give him free farm there, so... Already, I think Complexity getting the better end of so far the laning phase. We'll see how it turns out. We're only 2 minutes and 40 seconds in, so we still have a long way to go.
It's a very important early game here for this top lane. If this undying harassment and aggression doesn't really pay off for him, then, you know, it could prove to be trouble for them down the road. As they want to make sure they keep this Spectre in check, as they feel maybe Wheel is putting a lot behind this Spectre only. And even this Death Prophet, making sure she can kind of find the objectives to help lead the way for her by bringing in the extra gold and creating all that extra space on the map. And Mike playing Axe. Well, we watched him play Axe yesterday, and we questioned as far as where he was with the team and the dedication and communication, and well, they better have that up to snuff for this matchup where it really counts, because only one of these two teams is going to be able to duke it out with Team Tinker there in the final round. The other one is going to be done. So we'll see if he can kind of get to that point, and if he's going to decide to rush the Vanguard first, or if he's just blitzing for that Blink Dagger right away.
Really, he needs to just have a better performance than he did yesterday when he played Axe, because it wasn't the best, in my opinion. I think a lot of it had to do with positioning. And he TP'd maybe at inopportune moments. He wasn't with his team fighting. And then the 2 games after that, he had a great time. He played very well on that Doom in the 3rd game specifically. The 2nd game on the Titans, where his Ravages were a bit questionable, but for the most part, he did enough where his team had an advantage, and they were able to take the victory. So his Axe play, to me, was questionable today. We'll see how it turns out. Mike has a lot to prove here in the NA Dota scene. Many people and many teams think he's not really that great of an offlaner. Meanwhile, Relic caught out by Simba. This might be your first blood. Relic trying to go toe-to-toe. No mana for the Crypt Swarm. And he's just resigned himself to death. As Swindle will pick up the first blood. You don't really want to give Sniper first blood, but there it goes. 2 Wraith Bands. And I think a bottle may be flying out, or no, a Keela and I think a salve.
Ooh, also action towards top. They're making it go into Z-Freak with the heal bomb right there. He is going to be very low, and not enough strength stolen is going to be able to save him. So quickly, Wheel are able to fire back and get a kill of their own, and it does go to Sleesel of all people. So that's a good return grab for them, but for that first blood, it feels like maybe a lack of vision towards the top rune. They didn't know Queen of Pain is missing, which she is again. Simba already doing a lot of work here roaming about, and now he makes a go once again on the Relic, and you can see the slow stacked together. The Shrapnel and the Shadow Strike. Here comes the Assassinate. Can she get help? She can. It's not going to come in time. She goes down, and it's another kill for Swindle Melons on his Sniper. Goody does show up. He'll just kind of take some time to get some solo XP, but apparently they just can't keep track of this Queen of Pain. She leaves the lane. They don't know where she is, and they don't have the ward on the top of the map here. And she just kind of shows up unexpected and takes care of the job. And yeah, he might be in trouble here. She doesn't have a lot of mana, though, so Simba might not be able to pursue. But,
oh, he's dead. Derp assassinate. No, it gets canceled. He's too far away.
Ooh, immediate double shrapnel. Yeah, okay. Everyone's flirting here with the gun guy, but got to be careful about that.
I mean, this is the huge thing about Swindlemelons and specifically Sniper is that if you pair him together with another hero, a hero that can rotate and gank, that is how this hero is amazing in the middle lane. A Shrapnel is a big factor of that, but it's because you could get kills with just one rotation, and you're expected to get kills. That's why the hero is so strong right now in competitive play, is that he could get kills left and right with just a little bit of help. So Swindle gets off to a fast start. He picks up his boots. He's got an Aquila. He's got a Wraith Band. And sooner rather than later, he's going to be farmed. Ooh, he really wanted that Siege Creep. He's going to get it. He's 27 CS, 44 for the Troll. Meanwhile, top lane, Sleesel caught out by TLK, Simba, and Z-Freak. They can't get the kill. They do have Blink in 6, but it'll be too late. Sleesel's going to TP back home. And Sleesel's not doing that badly, man. 29 CS is not, it's not terrible. I mean, compared to the other safe laner, yeah, you're still pretty far behind, but yeah, Troll is expected to have a pretty good time in his own safe lane, so.
Just based on what I'm seeing here before me, it's Complexity getting the better end of mid and definitely bottom, with ZYZZ just bringing in so much farm. They take down the tier 1 tower. He's head of CS, head of net worth. So you have a Sniper and Troll. They're off to a beautiful start. He's already got his level 6 ready, so you already have all that extra bonus attack speed with your Sniper. They got to do something about it, so they smoke. They move in. They see him there, but he walks right into the whirling axes. Now Derp drops down to here. Axe moving in, gets the call. Can they get the kill, though? Stun comes through from Fog to help out, and finally there will be the spin. It's Derp who gets the last hit, and it is huge. We'll need this. They would love to get more as they try to make a move towards Fog. Even Z-Freak rotating towards this bottom lane.
They need to back now, and they will. That's very smart for Wheel. Do not take more than you're given. Get that kill on the big Troll Warlord. Back up and don't try to go any further. That's very, very important for them, and a very impressive play coming out from Wheel. I really love the fact that they smoke and get the Axe involved. A lot of people would have just said, okay, Axe, go to the jungle, get your Tranquils, get your goddamn Blink Dagger, and don't come out until you have the item. No one will fight people. But no. They make sure they prioritize getting a kill at least once on that hero, and they do. And with that frees up room top lane for Sleesel to get farmed because they rotated another hero down bottom, which was Z-Freak. The Undying shouldn't be there. He should have been top. But they rotated another hero down maybe because they thought heroes were going to dive. It frees up Rug a little bit, but Swindle is still he has a dominating presence over this Death Prophet here in this middle lane. And I think right now the plan for Wheel is just let the Axe and the Omni Knight do all the work, and even the Skywrath until both Relic gets his level 2 ultimate and maybe another item, and until Sleesel becomes a factor, which either could be at Urn, at Vanguard, but more than likely at Radiance, which is what all Spectres strive for. And when will they get there is the question. Maybe not even before 20 minutes. I'd venture to guess that's probably the timing for it. So we are in a pause 2-2, man, so far. It's a close game.
Yep. A lot of nerves. It's a big deal, big game. A little bits of lag, apparently, and some hiccups have caused us to pause out. We'll just hope that's all it is. I know that we've already had a interesting day of Dota between the different pauses and situations that have caused a bit of a slow beginning here, but you know, rules are rules, so we'll look to get things underway shortly. But the nice thing that Complexity have already more than what they've had out of this laning phase is Fogged, who's been kind of by the side from Troll at the bottom lane, has already got 1k gold at 7 minutes in, so he's on good timing to put together a Blink Dagger, and then they can look to get extra bits of aggressive. They move forward. They've already removed this tier 1 bottom lane. If they're able to get this tier 1 in the mid lane down, there's just no more access points for Wheel, and they can easily make a move into Roche and take that from Wheel. And I don't think Wheel are going to be in fighting shape to go for that anytime soon. And, well, it's ZYZZ who does pull out the pause, but now we're getting a disconnect from TLK or Simba. So hopefully, oh man, I hope this just isn't more of the same thing here. God, what a day of Dota. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, while we have this pause, I wanted to ask you, man, how are you doing today? How's life?
It's been interesting, man. A little bit frustrating, to be honest. We were troubleshooting some of our own personal internet issues.
Yeah, I heard about it last night.
Kind of found the problem, but it's a bit weird, and I'm looking to resolve it. And we're getting all that worked on, and you know, then yesterday we had the whole thing with Twitch, resetting passwords, changing keys. It's been a very unfortunate week so far with tech issues and trying to get everything resolved. And really, all we want to do is enjoy our job, cast some Dota, have a blast, and really, there's just all these things that just kind of, you know, don't want you to do that, unfortunately. And it's unfortunate. But
it's a rough life, man.
Yeah, man.
Trust me.
I'm just a young boy who wants to cast Dota.
Oh my God, that's it. We're done here. Yep. I can't. You've said it now.
Yeah. Well, what are you gonna do about it?
I'm gonna come all the way across the country. I'm gonna find Dakota. Man, what a life.
What a life.
Played no Dota yesterday. It was a nice day off.
That's probably for the better. I think I did play one game and I did win, and I was like, you know what, that's enough for me. I'm good. I'll take my one win and I'll step out right now. I played Oracle.
Play tonight, maybe.
Oracle is definitely can be a pretty broken hero still. People are saying, oh, throw him into captain's mode. Then we'll find out exactly how broken he is. But I'll tell you, man, people will find a way. It's ridiculous. His ult is out of control. And of course, Mike, he's got to do Mike things. And, well, if we want to look at that rule book, you only get about 10 minutes. I did look over the Starlighter book, and you get 10 minutes to fix these internet issues. It's on these teams and players to get it resolved. I really hate that I've had to say this, like, what feels like 3 times this week already that we've had to go through games like that. But I
think players need to be prepared. They need to be ready. They have to be.
It's clearly been happening to them. It's been happening to their teammates. It's been happening to other teams that they compete against. It can happen to you. So you gotta.
I just don't understand. Like, I thought this was I thought there were ways to take care of this and protect yourself. Not maybe like 100%, but like still, I thought there were things you could. I don't want to call out Simba because I don't know his issues, and I'm not trying to.
For all we know, it couldn't be that, and it could be something else. But there are ways. There are ways to predict stuff that have been provided.
Mike said yesterday, like, I forgot who disconnected, but his mom tripped over his Ethernet cord or whatever stupid thing Mike said. Who knows?
Well, fortunately, we're on this side in our virtual caster booth, and we're just going to have to wait to see. Here comes Andre. Okay, guys, what's going on? Apparently, he is back on Skype, which is one thing, but we're just going to be taking their word for it.
He reconnected.
Okay, wonderful. Listen, I want a 5v5. I'm not looking for one team to be forced to play a disadvantage. I'd rather just the game not have any hiccups or pauses, and we get to enjoy like just some quality Dota. But
well, that would be too easy, wouldn't it, Dakota?
It would be too easy. It's just ridiculous. When I cast games, when Pixel casts games, we get these kind of games, and then that's why I said I don't want to cast with Pixel because we'll be stuck casting Dota for a week.
Yeah, you'll literally be casting Dota for about like 8 hours probably.
It's ridiculous. Yeah. Well, here we go. We're finally back underway. All 5 players ready to go. And where have we been left off? 2-2. Saw a brief engagement there on the bottom coming up from Wheel. They desperately needed to get that kill on the Troll. They did get it. And when backup showed up, they got out at a moment's notice. But here, look at Derp. Pretty aggressive for your Omni Knight as he scouts out this mid lane. He does have a ward, maybe looking to plant one aggressively, at least on the other side. But now he's looking to sneak in from behind on the sniper. And there's going to be the haunt. They're moving on to Swindle. Derp walks in, drops down the heel. It's big damage, and they will bring him down. ZYZZ moves in to try to clean up and get some redemption, but Axe is a little too beefy for him right now, so he has to watch him walk away, but Z-Frick's going to drop down the tombstone. The zombies come crawling on out, and they still can't get a hold of anyone. It's a good scramble from Wheel to move away, and Complexity as they rotate all 5. They can't get anyone, so now they'll just try to add some pressure while they can to this tier 1.
Another excellent play coming out from Wheel. Really good positioning by them, and you saw that silence come out. When you see ZYZZ running in, they knew. They're like, there's somebody behind him. The rest of the team is coming. We need to back up immediately. Somebody made the call, and they just barely survived. Specifically, the Omni Knight had about, I think, anywhere below 50 HP, somewhere in that vicinity, and he was able to get out alive. And they get the kill on Relic. It's another huge kill. ZYZZ going down not too long ago. Now Relic falling as well, or rather Swindlemelons, I should say. I'm getting confused, man. I'm getting my players confused after last night, but whatever. Regardless, they get a big kill, and they're creating a lot of space. Cecil gets involved. He has 2 kills to his name.
He's also stuck.
Yeah, that's a crying shame.
Well, he puts himself. Maybe it was a safety stuck, because he knew he was going back to base. I'll give him the credit for that one. But in that engagement mid lane, he was also the one to get the kill. So he's 2-0. But, yep, looking at a Relic here. Walks away. Yeah, and it looks like he's going with the same build that we used to see. That race car DP kind of a build. Get phase boots, get Yules. No real
maybe drums
there.
If he wants to, but I think he would have picked up an early brace if that was the case. I think it's going to be Yules early on here. And after that, maybe Bloodstone, maybe Heart, maybe BKB. I think BKB is a solid choice. But it's a weird, like, because nobody knows what you really build on Death Prophet anymore because we haven't seen it in a while. I mean, we assume it's the same thing, but I think that's the right assumption as well. But we'll have to wait and see as he does have a while before he's going to get any real big item. Top lane, TLK, Simba is rotated in. Mike, no Blink Dagger yet. Meanwhile, he is juggling it up. Simba will grab an Illusion Rune and just try to harass with it. 2 heroes mid. They might want to take down this tier 1 tower mid, so they have that access to Roshan, which you talked about earlier. I think that's the best bet for them. And Ruh can't really defend it on his own. He can actually take hold of the creep wave.
This brings us back, Maut. Remember WCA? What a blast that was.
I remember ditching you.
You had to go because it just took so freaking long that you're like, dude, I'm sorry. I can't. Well, it was like late. Like, at least I know where I was here.
But that's something that like never happens to me. Like, I never have to like leave for like, I think maybe I had to cast Dota Pit or something the next afternoon. I was like, yeah, man, I'm sorry. I have to get up and I got to cast early or something. And you're like, oh, it's all right. Listen, don't worry about it. And then I guess the game was paused for like another ridiculous amount of time afterwards.
It was just so monotonous.
BTS moments, the KotLGuy dies or something like that.
The worst part of the whole thing was after investing the 4+ hours of time for this one match that we keep having to reload and load in, and then it would last 5 minutes before it crashed, and we'd take that next... It was like we put together the game by every 5-minute chunk. And then finally, as the game was kind of getting close to a conclusion, they're like, we're just going to finish here, offline. And, well... I never got to even find out who won the game. After all that invested casting time and stuff, it was just ridiculous. And for a while there, it seemed like we weren't having any problems, but now it's just any and every game there seems to be hiccups along the way. But thankfully, at least here, we don't have to, you know, play without anyone. Back again now. Complexity will get underway, and their pressure continues here in the mid lane, looking to get this tier 1 down. While we'll do some work here towards the top. Mike will continue to try to get his Blink Dagger. He's at 1,300 gold, and then their bottom lane, Sleesel's made the rotation from top to bottom, but he might be in trouble here. Fogged is moving forward, and Sleesel better find a way to hide, and now he looks to actually turn back onto him. Gets a really nice connection with the dagger. Crypt Swarm, he goes down. Good catch right there. Good rotation from Relic, and they punish the Lion.
I kind of wanted Sleesel to haunt there to get the kill, so he could pick up the last hit, but yeah, that's fine. Meanwhile, Simba's kind of stalking nearby middle lane. Relic will get assassinated. I don't think that'll be enough. They actually cancel the animation again. Maybe they're just outranging him. I'm not sure. I think that might be the case. Who knows?
I don't know how good he is with math to crunch the numbers that quick to know if he needs to cancel
the
it or
calculations,
not. I just hate, like, we don't get to see if it's canceled or not. We're just like, oh, here it comes. He canceled it. Okay, never mind.
Just every time, dude. It's like you hear the gun cocking, and then it's just like, no, I guess, nope, it's done. There it is. And, yeah, we're not good enough at the calculations, the measurement, the trigonometry to tell. Geometry.
I'm just going to say trees, calculus. I'm sure you need to be good at calculus to play sniper, right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that's why I can't play him.
Me neither. Well, back on bottom, TLK, who has been very good about making a lot of movement, rotating, adding a lot of pressure, you know, specifically towards that mid lane early on, has finally taken a little bit of that me time, farms up the bottom lane, is about to be level 8, grabs up a haste rune. He has been hoarding these runes all day in his bottle. And now he's like, this is a sweet treat. Maybe I can make something out of it. At that same moment, Swindle's able to throw together a Mask of Madness on his sniper, so his right click gets pretty freaking devastating at this point. And back at top lane, it's kind of where we left off from the start of this game. Fogged is here now. He's at 1,700 gold, was kind of not, you know, brought down a peg as far as his initial burst of farm towards that Blink Dagger. And Z-Freak, this is that point of the game undying. We're curious to see what he's really going to be able to contribute, you know, besides just kind of being the guy who drops the wards. I'm curious to see. You do get that extra bit of burst of sustain with the heal and stuff, but soon enough teams are just like, oh, there's the tombstone. Take it out. Okay, we're done here. And they keep fighting forward.
The tombstone is kind of an interesting thing this game because they don't have anybody that's really right-clicking it down.
That's true.
Their right-click is really lacking until Sleesel gets online a little bit later. So tombstone is definitely a big issue, and I think for Wheel, like, their main goal right now is to just not fight. And if they do fight, get a kill here or there and move on. Don't try to take this long-winded engagement. The longer the fight goes on, the more in favor it goes for complexity, unless Relic has his level 2 ultimate, which he just should have now. Please tell me you have... Yes, there's that second point. Now it's time to fight. It is time to defend here for Wheel at this top lane. It's not going to be easy, but Mike does have his Blink Dagger. There's no TP for Relic to get back. He has to actually walk all the way. The glyph is going to go. Mike's TPing to the tier 2 tower. I don't know if you defend this if you will, man. Tombstone is dropped down somewhere to the tree line. Assassination's going to go. It's going to hit the Scarith Mage.
Oh.
Pretty much takes out half of his HP pool. He does get purified. Maybe they go in. I think this is a fight. Mike's looking to run. There's going to be the haunt going through. Mike looking to engage. CoL not there. He misses. He misses the call, and Relic disconnects from the game.
BM pause. No, but yeah. And, oh, God. What a terrible time for a DC. So they're anticipating, they're waiting. Unfortunately for them, the timing wasn't quite right to defend the tower. It will go down, but they still think there's an opportunity to catch them on the way out. The call doesn't connect as they are just moving too fast and away. And look at this response coming out from Fogg. He gets a nice mini ravage here between Mike and Sleesel. And this is that really awkward point where both teams can kind of, all right, so what do we do? What do we do?
Right now.
Please what?
Go to showcase mode.
Let's see.
For Mike and for Sleesel.
Let's see here. Wow. Okay, yeah, he's way up there.
Mike jabs it in. Mike, you're not dunking. You're getting dunked on, in fact. I don't see how this fight really goes well for Wheel at all. This is probably going to be one of the worst engagements. Mike needs to get repelled or Sleesel, whichever they think is going to get fingered, because guess what? Somebody's getting fingered right here. There's going to be a TK. Swiddle's going to pop up the shrapnel. His mom is right now active. Troll can turn around. Simba has no blink for 10, so there's something there, but...
It's unfortunate, too, because Relic came in, like, shot off a Crypt Swarm, and that's when he DC'd. He hasn't even had a chance to unleash his ultimate, and he probably would have been more in the fight at this point. Right now, he's the furthest away from his team, so, yeah. This is interesting, but it looks like both teams are going to be ready. We're going to have to see how this unfolds here, Maut. There's going to be the stun. They do land. Turn in finger. Connects on the Sleesel. There's the immediate heal, but the Sonic Wave to fly out from Simba gets the finish. It's a 1-for-1 trade, and they still want to fight. Wheel continue to move forward. They now see Zfrick. There's going to be the Guardian Angel pop, but Derp still gets dropped from the Scream. They could get Goody next, and he will ultimately go down. Plus, the shot flies out. Relic goes down. It's going to be a 4-man takedown. Will be 5 if they can get Mike. They are on the chase. Tombstone goes down. No zombies going to be spawned, but one shot right there slows them enough. The Troll's going to catch up, and it is a 5-man takedown from Complexity. Very unfortunate disconnect timing there for Relic, but it was also bad timing for them to get there and defend that tier 1. And, well, Complexity walk away the big winners. Now 7-6. They get a pretty nice 2K gold chunk from that. And, well, we're going to look for Wheel to try to find a way to bounce back from it.
Mike has had some... I'm not going to lie, man. These have been some awful engagements. I don't know what he's doing. Like, that blink was so far away. He had an opportunity right at the beginning of the fight to blink in. He screws up the blink. He blinks a little bit less. He might have overblinked and thus shortening his own blink dagger. Fog is going to go for Sleesel. He is dead. See you later, buddy. Have a good time.
Goody was there,
Fog's
but...
going to get Misty Flared. He's probably going to live. Actually, no, looks like he's going to fall. Mike gets the kill, but still, you lost your freaking Spectre. That is a big loss.
Yeah.
And Wheel are going to be playing from behind right now, I think.
This is feeling like Complexity know they have a power advantage, and they're going to take advantage of that while they can. And they're showing it on all the lanes at this point. Swindle has pretty much free farm up here in the top lane. The closest by is Relic, who is still trying to throw together his Yules. No tier 1s have been brought down yet. I mean, if this was TI4 time and I was looking at Death Prophet, I'd be like, this isn't really where you want your Death Prophet to be. But, you know, nowadays in this meta, this is really where you don't want to be. I mean, you get a hero like this, and in this day and age of Dota, you're hoping to get towers down probably quick. You're hoping to create the space, and it's just not happening right now. And it feels like the wheels are a bit loose here.
They still have a lot of time left before... I mean, first of all, Spectre is, again, she has to become a big deal in this game. And it's just not happening yet. She's very far behind. If you look at the net worth chart, ZYZZ and Swindle are your leaders, unsurprisingly, as ZYZZ continues to take an H stack, or Ziz, or Zizzy, or however you want to pronounce his goddamn name. Swindle is sitting on a Yasha, a Mom. He's farming up to the top lane, the top jungler as well. At some point, they can take Roche. But Wheel, they have the tools, man. They do have the tools to take this game. They just level 3 ultimate for the Death Prophet is huge. Eul Scepter as well, but they're a long way away from that. They're gonna haunt.
Oh, they're see Swindle.
They're gonna find him. The call's gonna go. The Crypt Swarm. He does pop the Mom. He's gonna get jammed in. What a fight so far. Z-Freak getting destroyed. Ziz, he's like, I gotta get out of here. Pops the Whirling Axes and backs away. That's about as big of a fight as they could have gotten in this situation. That is a very big turnaround. Getting Swindle. That kill is huge.
Now they can use the rest of this exorcism to add some pressure on this tier 1. If they can take it down, this would certainly be enough to try to get them back into this game after those 2 devastating team fights. Plus the pick on bottom there, taking down Sleesel, is just very unfortunate for them. And, well, with that, they're going to be able to get this tier 1. But look at Complexity, man. They are not pulling off. They had the pressure here on the bottom, and look who's doing Roche. Troll's in there. He's starting to duke it out. Is he going to have the space? Because top lane, they've jumped. They got a hold, but Mike now eats the finger and the Sonic Wave, but it's not enough. He's happy to soak up both those big ultimates, and they take down the Queen of Pain. Look at that. Wheel firing right back. Get jobs done on both top and bottom.
And that's going to be the Eul Scepter for Relic now flying out. And whatever situation he was in before, getting brought down by Swindlemelon, it's just not going to happen now. He's got that Eul Scepter to stay alive. That's huge. Concussive shot on the Relic. He'll run away. He'll make it out in time. Ziz stopped doing Roche. She knew that they were so close. They were so nearby that if he committed to that and he goes down, that is a huge, huge amount of gold and experience to give away to Wheel at this point. Sleazel now up to 2.8k gold. Radiance doesn't seem so far-fetched now, and I said it was going to be probably around that 20-minute mark a little bit later. And it looks like that could be the case. He's still very far away, at least from the Sacred Relic, but still. Mike and Goody now smoked up. They find an illusion. That's not the target they want. They say, no, listen, we're going to head to Roche, see if anybody's in there. Now let's go over to the Radiant Jungle. Swindle on the high ground. If they catch him again, well, this could be a huge bounty.
Oh, if he keeps going, he'll see him. But he's taking out that Centaur so quick. He's going to see the dead corpse and know that he was nearby. They're going to think he's at the big camp, but he's not.
Yep.
Oh, he's mid lane.
Everybody's mid. They're going to haunt. They're going to try to get vision. Mike jumps in. They catch Swindle again. Swindle gets so ripped up. Calling Blade's going to go. Mike gets the kill, gets the jam. Mike turning around after that awful engagement. They'll probably lose Goody. No, they won't. He's going to TP out. He might make it. He will. Oh, what an engagement again. And all the meanwhile, guess what's happening bottom, Dakota?
They're taking towers. They're taking names. It's working out beautifully for Wheel. All of a sudden, it's like a whole new team. Went from flubbing a couple of calls and some questionable engagements, getting caught and picked off, and now it's them winning 3 big engagements back-to-back, plus they're following it up with towers, and now they got the grab on the Troll. Mike pulls him back, pops his blade mail, and he's got to TP the hell out of there, but there's the Euls. Your ain't going nowhere, buddy, but whoa, nice stun from Fogg's, not going to be enough. Troll goes down, he could be next. Mike blinks forward, there's going to be the Hex, and Fogg is just going to try to pull them away, create some space, because he is going to be going down. There it is, derp derp, double kill for your Omni Knight. Wheel have bounced back, it's 13-8. And they get another big chunk of change from that. And quickly it went from Troll and Sniper top 2 net worth. Troll's still at the top, but right behind him now is both Mike and Relic.
That's some huge plays from Wheel. Turning everything around, and now they have an opportunity to just slow the game down. They don't have to force anything out too crazily here. Relic is done for Sleazel, although he's getting jumped on top. I don't think he'll die, though. He's probably okay. And he'll back out. Nice plays all around. Really, pretty much every single hero from Wheel making some huge plays. I don't know, man. This is looking pretty solid for Wheel. If they continue on this path, you'll soon have a level 3 ultimate from the Death Prophet, who I can imagine is going for a Bloodstone with the point booster, but we'll see what she picks up.
It's funny, just as you're getting ready to start criticizing Mike on his calls, he lands a couple of good ones.
Yeah,
so
he gets in there. Yeah, it was well played.
He shakes it off, and he comes right back, so don't count the man out quite yet. I'm sure it wasn't just you, though. I mean, even I was like, okay, Mike, these aren't the best setups you're looking for on your axe play, and we already saw what he was doing yesterday, but he's making it work right now. He got a quick blade mail. Now he already has a point booster, looking to build towards his own Ags. So we'll see if he'll be able to be a big snowball factor here, and we look at the side of complexity, and Z-Freak, he's got his arcane boots here on his Undying. He's not the the brokest support in the game. He's still holding it on. Omni Knight and Skywrath are still behind him for now, but once these towers start going down, things could change. So we'll see who's looking to really kind of take it to the next level here. Relic venturing his way bottom, and they scout out Z-Freak. He's forced to drop the tombstone. The Haunt comes out, and they're looking for the committed kill, and they get it. And Sleazel's the one to pick it up.
Give him that tombstone. Give him the tombstone. Yes. Yes.
150 gold.
That makes me happy, is when they know that there's a way that their carry can get some extra gold and they give it to him. Bounty rune, whatever.
Oh.
Tombstone.
Fogged went Midas on the Lion. Didn't we see this yesterday?
I don't think it was yesterday, but I've seen it a lot in Dota Pit recently, and I'm not sure if I like it. I've seen this like 4 times. Meanwhile, KoL's going to find Swindle. Oh, another huge kill. Oh, they're being too aggressive. What are they doing? They're getting caught out too often.
Why is there a sniper over by the big camp of Wheel way deep like that when you know a lot of Wheel are missing?
There's no wards.
I mean, I'm looking at their vision. They got none. That's risky, and that's what happens when you get I want to say a little bit careless. That was just him in the wrong place at the wrong time. Yeah,
it honestly feels like they're panicking and they're saying, okay, we have to finish this game soon. We know that we've screwed up in the past couple of fights. We know that Sleezel's on his way to his Radiance. And now that he has it, it's okay for complexity, but it's not just the Radiance. It's the Radiance that gives him the extra farm, and then in transition turns into that Manta. Now Relic, very close to that level 3 ultimate, has his soul booster. Bloodstone's almost done for this man. And with Repel on Relic, how do you kill him? How do you bring him down?
When is the last time that these teams have had to go against a Death Prophet to have the answer on how to really stop her? Now she has like a free BKB in that Repel where she can just confidently strut her stuff on that tower without too much worry. And they know that this Lion also went a Midas. He doesn't have Blink. He's not going to really pop out from the woodwork and get you with that instant Hex. So Complexity felt maybe a big boost of confidence from the start of this game, and certainly I don't blame them. They were off to a beautiful start, and maybe that got to him a little bit. Now it's like, we got to change things up. They smoke, and I think they're beelining it for the Roche Pit, and they certainly are. They anticipate Wheel making a movement towards the top lane, which they are, and they feel like this is their time to go on in. Plus, Sleezel did recently use the Haunt. It is up, though. But here they go, man. They're making it go on Roche. It's already down to half-life, and it's looking like they might be able to get it. But as I say that...
I think we'll know.
Yeah, Sleezel's nearby. Could dagger into the Roche Pit right now.
He could, but I think it's too late. I think Ziz and Complexity will grab this Roche with no real engagements whatsoever, and that's a big pickup for them. They've granted themselves another lease on life, I think. I think they get themselves a little bit more room to work with now. I mean, they needed that desperately because they've kind of been snowballing in the wrong direction. They've been falling down the hill rather than rolling up it. So Relic now is going to be... He's going to be working on that level 3 ultimate now. And I don't know if you engage for Complexity. Do you try to fight with the Aegis? There's no SNY for the Sniper. It's not like... you look at Swindle's item progression, it has suffered, and he was very far ahead at one point. He's now disastrously low in the net worth chart as the game continues and progresses further. Fogged will have his Blink Dagger finally, so now his potential has skyrocketed, but he could have had that a good 7 to 10 minutes ago if he didn't go Midas, so there's that. And at least maybe he gets a Midas or an Aghanims faster this time, so there's the upside. But I'm concerned for Complexity, man. I truly am.
It looks like they're already taking the necessary steps to prepare. I mean, you're seeing Simba here, TLK on his Queen of Pain. He's got the point booster. It looks like he's trying to get an Ags. If he can kind of use these Sonic Waves to keep the pressure off of their base, allow this Troll and Sniper to have more time to build up farm, then it's better for them. So they're trying to get that cooldown for where that Sonic Wave is low as possible. And you know, you're splitting, and if you're pushing forward and you're restricting all that farm away from Complexity, you got two big beasts here between Sniper and Troll who want that farm, and Smoke's going to be popped as Swindle shows himself in the mid lane. Wheel caught off guard by that. They kind of second-guess their commitment. Now the Haunt comes out. They look to engage. Top above, you're going to see a quick dunk right there as they take down the Queen of Pain, but down below, that's where the action is. Now Swindle unloading all the shots from behind. Goody in trouble. Will go down. But on the other end, you see ZYZZ going to be chopped down. Swindle still trying to shoot and keep them back, but here comes Relic. Exorcism out in full force, and your Sniper can't get away from it. He ends up going down, but that's just the Aegis. Relic with the double. They're going to wait for him to come back from the dead. Mike's going to be there with the call. Catches him, and your Sniper, he gets slashed apart. Triple kill for Relic on the Death Prophet. And that's all 5 down from Complexity. Another huge fight for Wheel at what started as a Complexity smoke egg towards that mid lane.
That is 14 Bloodstone charges for Relic. Sleezel not going down, picking up what I imagine to be a Yasha pretty soon as he has that Blade of Alacrity now. He also finished the Ring of Aquila. This is now becoming disastrous for Complexity. Swindle dies not once but twice. He does get a couple of kills, I will say that much, and he was shooting from the back lines, but I think they waited too long for a fight like that. Had they fought with Relic level 2 ultimate without, you know, his Bloodstone, maybe Axe doesn't have his Aghanim Scepter, which he has now, maybe Sleezel doesn't have his Radiance when they fight earlier, then maybe the fight goes their way, but there's too much to deal with, and that's like a 6 versus 5 because of the Aegis. They still can't win it. They still can't bring it down, and it's now becoming, I don't want to say impossible, but it's very hard for Complexity to win this game. They have to go for DKB for Ziz. Sniper has to get another item, and it looks like it will be BKB. They're really forced into this BKB situation, but even then, what does it matter? Because you're still going to be able to get called. You're still going to be able to get Death Prophet ulted. There's a lot to deal with here from Complexity.
And I think that seems to be the theme of this wheel lineup, and that's working out for them, whether intended or not. It's really testing Complexity as far as what they want to get done in these fights. There is a lot of people they really need to focus, but they just have their hands full. You got to make sure you try to maybe get a hold of that Omni Knight. That Guardian Angel could just be such a huge thing. Meanwhile, you have an Axe jumping, getting in your face, and if you're neglecting the Death Prophet, she gets the most out of her exorcism. So who do you go for? If this was a couple of months ago when Death Prophet was just kind of the top tier grab, it's focus fire the Death Prophet, burst her down and get rid of her. You see even teams pick up something like a Sven just so they can get the extra armor and the burst potential to take her down. But they also have their hands full with that Axe. They got to make sure they get the Omni Knight. Skywrath Mage could be lingering in behind, and of course, can't forget about Spectre. It just seems like maybe Complexity could have their hands full in these fights, and maybe they're not good at juggling, Maut. I don't know.
Well, I'm sure they're struggling with that, but I think when you get BKB, you have to focus the Death Prophet down. I think that's really the biggest thing, because Spectre's Haunt, I mean, it's good, the right-click damage is there, but the main damage currently is the Radiance of the Desolate, which doesn't go through Match Community, so I think they really need to burst down that Spectre. Even with Repel on, they have to find her and kill her. They have to right-click her down. It's easier said than done though when she has a Eul Scepter. So hopefully maybe you get lucky, you perma-bash her with Ziz's Berserker's Rage. You have level 2 Battle Trance, level 3 Battle Trance coming up pretty soon. I honestly think that, yeah, you have to kill the Death Prophet, and from there, then maybe take the fight. They tried getting the supports in the last engagement. They got, like, all the supports. They took down, like, 2 heroes, and then the rest of the cores coming out from Will destroyed them. So it's got to be the Death Prophet in this situation. But we do have another disconnect from Simba, who has not had a good game, at least for disconnects.
Yeah, it's been a rough time. You could see the frustration right there being drawn on the map from Z-Freak, but for those of you just tuning in, please, welcome. Find a seat, sit down, enjoy. We got Dota here for you. It's Star Ladder Season 12, and we are on the back end of the America. And we're in phase number 2 already, and today we get to find out actually which of these teams is going to make it to the Bucharest land there at the final, and I'm really excited about this. The 4 teams that were in phase 2, Void Boys, Complexity, Wheel that we have here, and then also Tinker, who is actually waiting in that final stage. I'm getting nauseous looking at the mini-map right now, so I'm going to try not to gander at it too much. But, you know, Tinker waiting there at the final stage to see which of these 2 teams is going to duke it out with them in a best of 3, and then that winner is the team that's going to move on to the finals. Maut, do you think it's going to be Tinker all the way with their new squad in black, or do you think one of these 2 squads might be able to pull out a bit of an upset?
The way that both of these squads are playing now, Wheel yesterday in their first game and Complexity today in this first game, it's definitely an uphill battle. Tinker are so talented in their roster. I think, I honestly, with the way this game and series is going, I'm going to give Wheel the advantage in this series, and then if they get to that grand finals for the American phase, I think it could be a little bit closer than people are anticipating. We talked about how Wheel was so close against Tinker the other day. But I think Tinker probably is going to take it. I really want Wheel to take it because they've been playing so well together recently. They've been practicing so hard. They've done a lot of work to get to where they are. Cecil actually gets caught out. He's dead.
Oh wow, nice that was an immediate movement that they had. I wasn't even expecting. Maybe something they were formulating over the pause. Who knows? But they went from farming the jungle a little bit to let's move in there and kill the Spectre. And maybe credit to that ward. No, that ward was actually just placed now. So after getting that kill on the Spectre, they take the advantage to put down a pretty aggressive ward. But here in the bottom lane during that, they are able to kind of push pretty hard here. The tier 2 goes down, and they're actually tickling the high ground base a little bit. And they might get that tier 3 down to about half life. But here you go. Top lane tier 2 is going to be exchanged from Complexity. So in the end, this is Complexity getting the most out of it. The first time in a little while, I have to say. For a while there, I mean, they had what looks like a 6K net worth lead at one point at about the 15-minute mark, but ever since then, it was all Wheel's game. But now they show they have another breath of fresh air here to move on forward, and Here they go. Keep on trucking, they say. They go down this mid lane now. Maybe looking to get this tier 2.
They want to clear out the towers.
Yep.
It's time to clear out all the outer towers so that Wheel kind of cut off from their own jungle and they have to play a bit more defensively instead of being the aggressors. And this is pretty much the perfect time. Wheels is going to come out. There's the haunt, though. It's time to fight. Ziz pops the BKB. Sleazel jumps onto Swindle. CLK in some trouble as well. Z-Freak killing him up. Ziz going to work onto Mike. Sleazel separated from his team. They'll throw the whirling axes. No casualties just yet. No hero dying. Ziz running in. Sleazel maybe in trouble. Mike looking to blink. He's got it available. Now they get the purification off at the perfect time as the assassinate comes. They get the kill on Ziz. Sleazel survives. They take in turn 2. They pop the GA. What a turnaround. Swindle. Now he's in trouble. He's going to pop the mom. The battle hunger going. The Yules is there for Relic. Can he get there in time? The shrapnel gets it off. Mike about to get the call. Goodbye, Swindle. It has been nice knowing you with that Ags. Look at the dug coming out from Mike. He's a goddamn point guard at this point. 3 dead.
Derp, man. Derp. What a player on that Omni Knight. That last second purification, and then he just went, hallelujah, dropped down the Guardian Angel, and Wheel just went rushing forward, and they turned what looked like a very sketchy fight into a very promising and fruitful one. Big stuff there for Wheel. They counterfight very well, and now they're going to look to punish this bottom lane. They take down both the Troll and the Sniper. Good stuff for them, so we'll see if they can make the best of it here. Now moving through the bottom lane. Still an Exorcism up as well. Are they going to actually commit for it here? I don't think that might be the smart choice. Everyone's back. Sniper is still down, but she's going for it. Gets the repel and moves on forward here. This tier 3, no glyph. It's going down.
Just like that, man. That's what one big team fight can do for you. A tier 3 tower, maybe even more. If Ziz isn't careful, he's running out pretty far. There isn't a GA. Repel is still used under Relic. They have no way to take it off. There's no Diffusal Blade anywhere near this. Earth Spike's got to come in on the backside.
Oh, all right. Relic gets hit. Healed up. Are they going to be able to make it out from here? Complexity would love to punish him for this. They're on the run. Mike should be able to blink away here. Goody. Uh-oh. Not so lucky. He's going to be the man left behind. He just turns and says, I'm ready. I'll own up to it. And he goes down. Just chopped up immediately. And, well, Complexity are able to snag one. But the damage has been done. Your bottom racks are now going to be exposed. But Complexity probably not too worried about this. They do hand over a pretty good fight. But they still can fight on forward here. They might look to wait it on out. And we could see our next engagement happen near the Roche.
I think that's the more likely decision. By the time Death Prophet's ultimate is up, Roche he'll be about to respawn. They really want Sleazel to have another item for Wheel. And for Complexity, I don't think you can take another fight without, number 1, Swindle's BKB, which he did just purchase up, and number 2, an Aegis. So that's the biggest factor coming out from Complexity. And Sibbo really needs to finish up this Ags, and there it is, finally coming out. And the damage here is going to be pretty ridiculous as well. I mean, they need this to blow through that extra little HP that Sleazel has. And Derp with that play, man. I just want to go back to that purification. I mean, he didn't know the assassination was coming. At least I hope he didn't know. And he throws up that purification, keeps Sleazel alive. Like you mentioned, man, this Omni Knight, he's becoming a factor. And I thought, Repel, yes, it's good. The GA is good, but that purification helping out as well. And all of his abilities have been pretty damn useful. Boundaments had done as well.
Is it worth considering getting a diffusal on someone for Complexity? That's the question, but hold that thought as they make the jump in after a smoke. Oh! Swindle Melons gets annihilated immediately. The Guardian Angel will fly, and Ziz says, I gotta get the hell out of here. Pops his BKB and TP, and they're gonna try to get what scraps they can. Z-Freak will go down next. It's an immediate 3-man drop. Wheel Gaming looking real strong here. 34 minutes in, they look to turn the corner. They're going to scout out the Roche, which is not up. They need about another minute before it is, but man, they quickly got a hold of that sniper and took him down. That's when your positioning is of the utmost importance, and they make him pay.
What a call to make, to smoke behind that tier 2 tower and to run directly at Wheel. Mike, he must have heard what we said, what we were talking about with his flopped engagements. He has been a man on a mission this game. He has gotten some beautiful calls. He set up some beautiful fights, and he's jamming it in every chance he can get.
Oh, man.
This barracks exposed, no buyback for any of the heroes that are down, and they do have no glyph. No, they do have it. They're going to have to use it here. Or maybe they just forfeit the racks. It looks like that's going to be the case. Bottom racks is going to go down. They're split pushing with the troll. They're split pushing up top with Simba. But at this point in time, if Wheel plays this correctly, this should be their game to lose.
Oh,
although
no,
Fog in trouble.
Yeah, he got caught. Now Silence. They get the nuke off. He's dead. He goes down. Goody might drop for it. Does get Yulesed up and should go down thereafter. Meanwhile, ZYZZ chopping away on Mike. There's the Sonic Wave. He's big and he's bad, but he will go down. Derp trying to find a place to hide. Gets shot. They managed to punish 3 of Wheel, who maybe just got caught up and baited almost from Fog right there. So Fog does go down, but he's happy with that trade in the end. They pressured this mid and top lane here. Complexity need to get this Roche. If they want to be able to kind of keep moving forward, a Roche grab here would keep them alive. Wheel, if they could defend it, that would also be very profitable for them. Let's check on Cecil here. Manta complete, Radiance obviously, but now has 2k gold saved up. She's starting to get pretty big here. But
Heart, maybe, I think. Or Diffusal. I think Heart's more likely. Diffusal on Spectre isn't actually 100% needed. I don't know if he's going to go for that item, but yeah, this is, you have to pick this up for Complexity. This is something that you need to do. If you don't get Roche in this situation, then hey, it's probably just over. If Roche goes to Wheel, I should say, then it's probably just over. But they'll take the Aegis, and that gives them a bit more to work with. However, they give it to the Troll. They don't give it to the Sniper. And Swindle has been the one with the issues, honestly, and dying in a lot of these engagements. And I liked when they gave him the Aegis the last time, but that's not going to be the case this time. And he's still susceptible to getting ganked, to getting blown up, even with that BKB. Yeah. So it's tough. Wheel now with every single hero alive. They'll smoke up. Haunt is available. Death Prophet ulti is up in 16, so by the time they find somebody, they could pop it. And if they get Swindle, I think, does he have buyback? Absolutely. Luckily, he does. If he didn't, the game would be over if he got caught out. And it looks like they might actually find him.
Haste Rune at the top. Swindle is nearby doing the Ancients here. He got jumped on so quick last time he couldn't even use his BKB. And it might happen again. Mike sees him and makes the jump. And there's going to be the immediate kill. That's 2 times now Swindle has been caught. And he gets to go down without even using that shiny new BKB. Good setup again from Mike. Good smoke call from Wheel.
He doesn't have BKB. What did he just buy? What did he just buy? He bought a Chrysalis. Oh, no. At least they have the tier 2 up, but they are going to have to waste some time here because he just bought that Chrysalis. I thought for sure he'd be able to buy back. That is not the case. He's up in 45. There is a Death Prophet ultimate. Maybe they save it for the tier 3 tower. We'll see.
There they go, moving forward, still repelled up. Relic, pretty confident here, and yeah, they're going to just annihilate the wave, try to keep it back, but there's a quick response of a Crypt Swarm, so we'll be at a bit of a standstill. It's only going to take 20 more seconds for Swindle to be back, so I think Wheel might look to go elsewhere. The last outer tower here, this top tier 2, seems to be a juicy target. Wheel will make their go at that. Complexity smoked up, though. Look at Mike, though. He is trying to be the gatekeeper. What he doesn't know, though, is they see him there. They have a ward right behind him, along with their own ward. And, well, I don't think they're going to use that to their advantage. They might just have to see this tier 2 go down. Dagger flies out mid lane to connect there on your Queen of Pain. And, yeah, there's Swindle. Let him know we see you, buddy. Oh, they're going to try to burst him down quick. He's got the Blade Mail pop, but Swindle has his own BKB. Gets saved with the Repel. Still holding on strong here. Derp moves forward, even has the Guardian Angel committed, but they will finally chop down the axe. Derp could be next, but ooh, nice little force gets him over. The gap. Oh, wow, set up in the air. That was like... shot put. Disc gets the shot in the air and takes him down. 17 to 28. Complexity do put up a nice defense. They lose that tier 2, but still feeling like Wheel's game here. They get a lot of farm.
Picks up a Diffusal Blade now, so there we go.
Okay.
The Queen of Pain getting it, and GA and Repel not going to be as effective as it once was. You saw how long Mike lived there? That Guardian Angel, man. When you have a Relic Sniper and a Troll battle trancing you, it's not fun, and the one way to deal with it is just to get Guardian Angeled, and he stays alive for literally ages, but it looks as if, like you said, it still is Wheel's game, but now, I don't know, with this Diffusal Blade, some crazy stuff can happen. There's a satanic control. Anything's possible for complexity.
Yeah. No, definitely. This game is certainly not over. It's one of those kind of games that even when you take down 2 sets of racks, who really knows? Spectre, and then a troll and a sniper on the other side. Troll and Viz. Oh, what a sweet treat right there. They can get Sleesel, but no, the rappel is out, and they quickly keep back complexity. Oh, that was scary right there for Sleesel. But he's able to make it away.
On point, man. That purification followed by repel. He's just been getting these seals off like crazy. I mean, that takes some quick reaction. Sleesel, his heart now done within 50 gold. The recipe purchased up. The Vitality booster is going to be grabbed in just 40 gold. I think it's 40 for a Vitality booster, I'm pretty sure, to get to that 1100. I believe, yes. So Vitality booster in just 20 gold now. And with that Heart of Trask, it becomes very difficult to take down a Spectre. Even with the Satanic, it's a really hard demand fight. Guardian Angel is going to be a big factor for Ziz here, for ZYZZ. And I don't know, man. It's going to turn tough real quick. Are they looking to smoke up from the side of Wheel? Maybe, perhaps. Roshan not respawning anytime soon. That's a huge item. X coming out for the Death Prophet. Relic now becoming almost 6-slotted. If he just sells that one and purchases up another item, he will get there. We'll see what he picks up.
I mean, I guess the fortunate thing for Swindle being caught without using his BKB is it's still at 9 seconds. So he's got plenty of time on that BKB. Right. We're looking at the Troll. He's at 6. So not as luxurious. And if they continue to kind of focus down the Sniper, they'll have plenty of magic immunity available here. But it's looking like Wheel. Their plan is to push down from the north. And they would love to get some pressure inside the base. They'd already taken out that bottom set of racks, so Complexity are exposed and stuck on more of a defensive push out here in this bottom lane constantly. And Wheel would love to get a second set. They give Relic the repel. Exorcism ready, but it's a sniper.
We should talk about this item. A Soul Cross coming out from Mike is huge. Towers will fall within seconds. Heroes as well. Middle lane, Sleesel finds TLK. Simba needs to leave. He has to get out. He's got Blink in 1. He's going to get Yules up. No, he'll Yules himself. Now he'll try to blink away. Stays alive with 30 HP. The Haun's going to go. And Sleesel gets the kill. Now they engage in the top lane. Here we go, Dakota.
Yeah, he commits. They make the jump in. But look at the positioning here from Complexity way behind the structures. Relic just trying to go into that tier 3. But it's been glyphed. Now the buyback comes out from Queen of Pain. Goody's going to go down bursted with the help of Fog in his finger. And now they're trying to just keep Wheel back. Wheel might just kind of accept that, walk away. They do only lose the support. They get some damage in on the tier 3. And not only do they get the kill on the Queen of Pain, they force her to buy back. So still a strong victory there for Wheel. Complexity, how do they look to bounce back from this one? They smoke.
They smoke, yeah.
They smoke. And then they look to go on the move. What can they get out from this, though?
Dang squad handing up towards the enemy jungle. We'll see who they can find. Sleesel will be a prime target. He's walking right in. He'll pop the Manta style, gets hexed up, get ahead to the trees. Earthspike connects, still in there. Now the blink call. Mike turning it around. Sleesel does end up falling. He doesn't have buyback. Here comes the side of Relic. Ziz pops the Satanic. Now the Guardian Angel goes. And Ziz has to head out. Does not have the Aegis anymore. They get the kill on Mike. Ziz now in trouble as well. There's no buybacks for Wheel. Nobody has buyback. Relic's up at 11. Swindle gets a triple kill. This might be it, Dakota. What just happened?
Sleesel got caught, and then they thought they could still fight, and I don't think that was the call to make. Derp tried to help out and kept him alive as long as possible with the Guardian Angel, but without...
Sleesel has buyback. He just got his 5 surplus.
They need that. They needed him there. So at least maybe... It looks like Complexity could get him to buy out. Glyph tries to slow them down. Relic, no exorcism yet. 36 seconds, throws out the Yules. No BKBs also for Complexity. Can they break the base enough to even force Sleesel to buy out? This is very sticky here. Ziz now with BKB ready, moves forward. Waiting for the ultimate, gets silenced, pops that BKB, gets the finish onto the tier 3. This is just to even things up and get 1 set of racks each. And there they at least get the melee, and it looks like they're going to pull out from there. Sleesel does not need to buy back. Wheel, I think they'll just accept that. They're happy they don't lose more. But that was not the engagement they were hoping for. It was a great move for Complexity. Right after that engagement top lane, they smoked, they blitzed down mid, and they caught Wheel just thinking that they can casually farm.
That is a huge, huge, huge play coming out from the side of Complexity. Even just the melee racks going down is very important. This keeps the middle lane something that we'll have to consistently push into. However, Roche is about to respawn, and guess who's going to grab it? It looks like Wheel are going to head over there. Swindle does pick up a butterfly. That is a huge item purchase, but he will not have buyback within the next couple of moments. And they'll need maybe some sort of MKB at some point for Sleazel. It's going to be tough. But it looks like Wheel will grab not only the Aegis, but Cheese as well. And they don't have to, I think they don't really have to try to force the issue. They don't have to push down mid. They don't have to push down top. Pios
is, I think that's Fog's Peruvian side coming out. But.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, another unfortunate timing here. Frustration drawn on the map, as you can see in your lower left-hand corner from the players. But yeah, it looks like still Simba having some problem. He's the member of Complexity that's kind of coming and connecting from quite a ways away. But Wheeler trying to get a move onto Roche here. They haven't committed the exorcism to do it. Thinking that maybe they can get it down. I'd look at the mini-map to see if anyone's nearby, but I can't really see it, so I have to kind of look over. Complexity are in the area. No, not really. It looks like they're just kiting.
They're all at their base.
You know what? Maybe they're blocking the map so that at this moment, if they wanted to go try to check the stream, they can't see it. I bet you anything that's what they're thinking.
I'm helping out with that as well. We're all drawing.
They're like, desperately, block the map, just in case they all tab and look at the Twitch stream.
The geometrical shape thing when you draw on the map is still a thing. When you like try to draw a circle.
It's only from your perspective. Like when I see it, I see you're drawing it, looks fine.
See circles. Yeah.
It looks normal.
Like, but when I like if you were to draw something right now, it looks like, I don't know, it looks like you're drawing like a dice or something, like a weird shaped dice, one of those D&D dice, a D20 if you will.
If that was their intention, I mean, I could always do them the favor and just change the overlay, but then I have to quickly change back every time. Do you think that would be the right thing to do?
I think we should set a standard for it. I mean, we don't have to do it yet, but I don't mind that idea. I think that's a good
if they're nervous
standard
about it, I can always just
Well, the problem is that there's other streams, although I think there's like one other stream for this today.
That's true. That's true. They could always check.
It has to be a standard for everybody. And I can guarantee you everybody would forget. For like something like Dota Pit, there's no way we could implement something like that. Yeah. It's just there's too many streamers. It's ridiculous. But I like the idea, though.
It's just something you don't really encounter anywhere else in any other, quote, sport or really event where you could just easily have access to kind of get that kind of information, you know? And even if you block out the stream, it doesn't stop the people in the chat from describing exactly what's happening at that moment from either team. And Andre is right. I mean, you're only given a 10-minute time to, you know, pause, and they have definitely used it up. You got to remember, this is still just game number 1. That's been stretched out now. It says 45 minutes, but I think we've been cast this game off for well over an hour now. And,
between the draft and the pauses, absolutely.
It's
maybe even
definitely been long.
An hour 20, maybe I'd say.
Well,
it's weird for Complexity to be in this situation, especially after. Yeah, I mean, again, they're in a rough time.
The thing is, you don't put it on the teams. Hey, if the other team wants to be nice, they're always welcome to say, we need a pause. We're having lag, even if they're not.
Right. And well, that's what Power Rangers did against Tinker the other day in Dota Pit, and I mean, it's kind of, I don't want to say it's expected, but it's just a nice gesture because you want to play 5-on-5. There's no real point, like, because you're not going to get better, winning a game 4-on-5. Although it's a tough situation, and maybe we'll have like, we got to go to bed, we have to win these games, then move on and stuff like that. I don't know, dude. There's a lot of issues with this.
Yeah, it's just such a crap. I mean, it's when Wheel's doing Roche, So
yeah,
you can only do so much to prevent this, but. This isn't our tournament, and we're casters, so I can't really say anything or influence a certain admin to do anything, but in my personal opinion, rules are rules, and I think it's go time. I feel like they've definitely had enough time. It's very unfortunate. I'm the biggest advocate to make sure we can have a fair game of a 5-on-5, and everyone is prepped and prepared and secured their connection to know that these things have been happening, and you got to do what you can to protect yourself so that you can be the team that doesn't have this kind of a disadvantage. So, well, we'll have to see. I know they're probably chatting about it here in their secret hidden admin room and conversation space, but
secret admin room.
I don't know. Yeah,
there's like Macallan scotch there.
Yeah, there's a lounge, cigars.
Yep.
There's an issue here in this game. The player has seemed to disconnect it. And,
all right, let me ask you, because you're familiar with this. What do you think is the most classy drink you could possibly have?
Classy drink?
Yeah.
I guess it depends. I mean, a good champagne could be defined as classy.
All right, let's get away from like the champagnes and the wines and stuff like that. Like,
probably scotch then.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I mean, the real only difference between like scotch and just normal whiskey is it is in Scotland, you know, hence the name, but it does give it more of a, I don't want to say exotic feel to it, but yeah. But then you kind of get really deep into scotch, and it all depends what region it's from. If it's more like an Islay scotch, you're going to be getting those real smoky, peaty ones that like when you drink it, it's like you're drinking a log. It's just straight up like burnt wood, which I actually like that, you know, and some people do.
That's a nice
It's the
taste,
people who are like, oh, that's a man's drink right there. It's like, it's just not for everyone, you know. Some people maybe like a scotch like Macallan, which is more like sherry. Not sweet, but for a scotch, it's not as harsh. But I don't know. I like that. But that's just like, you got to be like a connoisseur, and you're just like, yes, I went around all the regions, enjoyed all the scotches.
I'm not a connoisseur. I'm not a connoisseur, but I've read that not scotch, but the highest ranked, I guess, whiskey was out of Japan, which is something that I certainly wasn't expecting. I'm not sure.
Yamazaki, was that it?
I think that's probably it. Yeah,
that's the one that's the most popular for a whiskey from Japan, which is obviously, you know, you don't come by very often, but it was actually highly rated, I believe. I don't know.
When I think of Japan, I think of sake, dude. That's all I think of.
Yeah, I mean, that's,
I don't think of
fair.
Whiskey, you know.
That's like what people who think of America, they think of like hot dogs, fat people, I guess. I don't know.
Budweiser.
Yeah, Budweiser.
Any standard like Coors Light.
What the hell? Hold on a second here. This M broadcaster has been updated, and the in-game is not right. Oh, there it is. Oh, God. The game started. I'm trying not to get blocked here. Okay, back and underway. Sorry, folks. Wheel. They are in the Roche pit making it work, and though they asked to see if they could reload and bring in a stand-in, that's not what they do. And, well, Andre says 10 minutes is up. It's time to play. So Simba, the Queen of Pain, currently MIA. Very unfortunate situation now for Complexity in a game that felt pretty down the middle. It was a phenomenal start from Complexity. Wheel found their way back, and then it was Complexity moving forward, and now Wheel have got the Roche.
I'm going to be honest with you, Dakota. If this game doesn't end with a 5-on-5 engagement with all 5 players in on both sides, I'm going to be pretty damn salty. Yeah. I'm pretty sick of this, honestly. And if it is the situation which we are so familiar with, I'm going to call out anybody who is doing it. Any asshole needs to stop. It's getting ridiculous.
What can you do?
I'm pretty angry.
And we don't know the intentions for why things are happening. I mean, it could be a simple internet issue on his end. It could be a attack. It could be influenced by the trades, the hats, and all that garbage. But
it's so stupid. I'm sorry, everybody. Listen, I'm a fan of good Dota, and this game has been looking absolutely fucking amazing. And it was set up for a climactic finish. And if a 4 versus 5 fight influences the way this game ends, I'm going to be very upset.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Dakota.
No, you don't have to be sorry. It's a very important matchup here. Loser goes home. Winner gets to move on to face Tinker. And this one game of this best of 3 could be the game changer. And I understand that, you know, you could see Complexity. You know, there's limitations now when a player's DC'd. You can't really work with their items. They can't spend their gold. It sucks. You know, it's not something that probably Valve have looked into because they don't anticipate situations like this. And unfortunately, it's been situations like this that's been happening for like, what, the past 2 weeks? You know, they had that secret game that they went against Duza, I believe, and it ended up being a 3 versus 4. That shouldn't happen.
Yeah, it really shouldn't. It really should not happen. And I don't put any blame on the players. It's just wonky internet connections, and if it is an attack, then it's completely 100% those assholes, those jerks, and I won't go any further. But here we go. This could be the fight to bring us to game number 2 with Wheel leading. Will they take it? Relic, he's gonna have the repel. Sleazel walks right in. Ziz going on top. Meanwhile, Swindle popping shots off from the backside. They drop down that tombstone, which gets obliterated by the poor freaking Death Prophet ultimate. The Exorcism going to work, and already the tier 3 tower, man, it's low. It is very low.
Yeah, the Exorcism will look to finish it off. He had tried to heal that tombstone, but it went down at that moment. So now Rax is exposed here in the top lane, but your Exorcism about to expire. Do they commit for this one? Maybe feeling like we got the numbers advantage now with this player who's no longer in the game. But, yeah, it looks like they're going to pull away. So they're going to take the safe road, and we'll have to see what Complexity's response will be. As already down one set of Rax. Mid lane up in full force. The only base damage they had done is, you know, you can see mid lane for Wheel. They dropped the one set of Rax, got the tier 3 down. But now with a man down, it's Wheel who definitely do have that extra bit of advantage. And certainly taking down that structure there in the top lane and getting that bit of a boost helps.
And all the meanwhile, bottom is continuously pushing. There are no effigies. There's no other little huts in the way.
Yeah, the buffers.
The tier 4 tower is, look at that, man. It's 300 HP. Like, that tier 4 tower is low. That's a building that is very, very important. The thing that we hope for is that somehow Simba comes back online before the next engagement, before we'll decide to push in again. They still should have Aegis, I believe, on Sleazel. They do. For how much longer exactly? It looks like about a minute. And yeah, that's it. That's it, man. We got 1 minute left before maybe they decide to push again. Ulti from Death Prophet will be up by the time I think they decide to go for another push. We'll see. We'll see if they head back top. It looks like that is the case.
Yeah, we'll have to figure out what their game plan is going to be, or if they just kind of put themselves on this defense and hope that maybe Wheel makes some mistakes when they try to invade. So they come down again from the northern side. Relic, 15 seconds, Exorcism at the ready. Actually has a refresher orb recipe together already. 4,600 gold, obviously looking to reserve a bit of that for the buyback, which he can always buy back and Boots of Travel himself in. We'll just kind of want to close this game out, and I anticipate that in game number 2, Complexity will be back with a 5th stand-in for Simba. So
I think so.
So with that,
regardless of the outcome of this game, by the way, I want to point out some items. I'm not sure if you talked about this. Refresher coming out from both the Death Prophet and Sleazel, more than likely. Could be a Lincoln Spirit for Sleazel. I highly doubt it. I think Refresher on Spectre is pretty amazing. Yeah. And Aegis is now gone. I do want to point that out. Sleazel's going to note that to his team. Roche respawns at 4 minutes. And it looks like the Rax is now exposed. Will they go, or will they wait for those refreshers? Now they're going to jump in. Axe calls. Ziz in trouble. Hexed up. Goodbye. Got a buyback. Hog comes in. Mike gets blown up by Swindle. Sleazel going right on his Z-Freak. Pops the Ghost Scepter. Stays alive. Another shrapnel goes. Relic in trouble. About to fall. Assassination. It'll get the kill. Everybody has buyback except for the Omni Knight. No Rax is gone. They're holding 4 versus 5.
What the hell?
They're staying alive. The odds against them, and guess what? They don't give a damn. Never tell them the odds.
Unbelievable defense. Even a man down, they make it work, and they hold strong. They do end up losing a tier 4 here in the mid lane, but both Raxes barely scathed. Huge stuff right there. What went wrong? Derp, there was no Guardian Angel. Mike couldn't really... He made a good, strong lead-in, got a hold of the troll, but wasn't much of a factor after that. Mr. Peepers there, your sniper just kind of can freely shoot him up and get the job done. These refreshers might have to be the ticket to put a lid on this game, but with a defense like that, Complexity showing that they might be able to kind of fight their way through this one. But that's when things get a bit hairy. When you try to kind of go across the river and make a push happen and you're trying to break high ground and a man down, that's a whole nother test in itself.
You're absolutely right. The 4 versus 5 pushing high ground is no simple task. Defending, it's still difficult, but they accomplished it. Now, what's next? We'll have to wait and see. Swindle picks up a full, complete Daedalus. The only item he's currently missing are Boots of Travel. He might even be able to sell his mom, but that's a lot of damage. I think mom stays up and alive, and maybe he gets Boots of Travel, and at that point, Sniper 6 allotted. For Ziz, He's going Daedalus as well. They're putting all of their eggs into these right clickers baskets, and that's really what it's going to come down to. Sleesel's refresher very close to being completed. He wants to save for buyback as well. He's about 600 gold away from having both buyback as well as the Oblivion staff. So something to keep in mind. Actually, it's pretty close.
And the unfortunate thing for Complexity with just the limitations is that Fly, they can't buy anything else on this Queen of Pain or use his gold in any sort of way or use his buyback if he goes down. So, you know, as much as they seem to profit from maybe a big engagement like that, she's just going to be plateaued and flatlined until, you know, Fly's able to somehow find a way back in. Earlier today, we saw in Star Ladder as well, what was it, Alliance taking on Power Rangers. They had disconnects in those games. Mad was gone, and what they said is that he but he got to the local internet cafe just to resume the game. And ended up coming back like 25 minutes later. They got probably a bit of extra pause time than they should have, but it's unfortunate that it comes down to something like that to get back in. I don't know if Fly's looking to do the same thing, but...
Oh, that is true. If Fly is in Europe, I keep thinking that Complexity's a North American squad, but Fly, he lives, well, more, I guess Asia, I suppose, is where Israel's located. in my geography. Yeah, man. So this is why we're Dota casters, you know. So I'm not sure if they have internet cafes over there. I'd assume so. I'm not sure where he's located, but I would imagine.
Yeah. Well,
that could be a possibility. Maybe he's doing just that, or trying really hard to reconnect. We'll see.
The fact of the matter is that as of right now, he's still gone. So if there were no rules about pause, we'd still be paused. We'd still be waiting and waiting and waiting for a half hour. This is game 1. We have this whole best of 3 and another best of 3 after that.
Isn't it best of 5 for the last series, or am I crazy?
I'm pretty sure it's a best of 3. If not, I would not be surprised if it was changed to bit. We'll have to see. We'll just kind of go to, cross that bridge when we get to it, Maut, but it just feels like the limitations here for Complexity being a 4-man group, they don't look to stretch too far outside of their homeland, and with that, Wheel are going to be able to secure another Roche here. So now with Aegis in hand, plus these new refresher orbs, will that be enough to break through Complexity in their sniper troll game?
If it's not, then you might have to reevaluate your life, Wheel, because you're playing 4 versus 5. You have Aegis Cheese, double Haunt, double Ultimate from Relic. I think they maybe need... Yeah, Omni has a Blink Dagger, that's fair. Fog picks up a Diffusal Blade, by the way, which is pretty big.
Yeah, you don't see that very often on your Lion.
He was going Ags, and he's like, nah, Diffusal's better. So.
Well, the Diffusal holder is...
Or did he sell it? I think he sold it.
I don't know. Fly was their Diffusal holder. Can they not use the items? They can use it. Can they use the items that he has?
You can use items, I think. Okay. Yeah, you should be able to, 100%.
All right.
So... Yeah, he's just going to go Finger. And that might be... I don't know. I'm not sure if that's a better option. I liked it yesterday when they were against PL Illusions, but... I don't know if it's really good this game. It's good against, I guess, the Spectral Illusions, but are they going to be crowded together? Maybe. Well, here it is, man. It's time to push down top. As far as buybacks are concerned, I think everybody has it. Trolls is up in a minute and a half. He has to hope to God that they don't kill him within that time span. Otherwise, he might be in trouble. Swindle has his. Everybody on the Dire side has theirs, except for the Omni Knight, who they don't. He has cheese, so he'll be fine. He really has to hit this Blink Guardian Angel. That's it, man. The magic damage is not a problem. It is the Blink Guardian Angels. The zap comes from Fog. Fog just bought out. They know that he's there. He's dead. He is gonna go down.
Oh, force the low ground. Okay, see you later, buddy. He gets chopped on down, 70 seconds, no buyback. At least he can control Fly from here on out. He'll probably be your Queen of Plane player to defend. Tombstone goes down, Exorcism already out. He yules up Swindle, it's going to proc the BKB, and he starts to right-click down Sleesel here. He's going to be a tough target. He's got that heart and everything, and Aegis gets that heal there from your Omni Knight in. Some good damage here onto your ranged Rex, though it still stands. Your Troll still holding his BKB. Sniper not going to be so lucky. There goes one Rex. He's getting good damage onto Sleesel, and they pop the Trollo for it. Just kind of jumping in and out here is Wheel. The Exorcism will finish, and they step away. Really slow playing this one. But yeah, they can refresh and kind of go in and finish what they started.
It really doesn't benefit. I mean, complexity. Oh God.
Nice jump.
Simba.
Yeah, he's dead. He's out. Refresher and a new exorcism potentially to fly out as Ziz runs right on in. Guardian Angel going to be popped in response. And whoa, Sleesel, a lot of damage. Still has that Aegis, won't have to use it. And they're just trying their damnedest to defend. But Ziz gets caught and chopped down. He gets gone. And he's going to buy back. Swindle, though, under pressure, goes down. Buy back again. This is the final hurrah for Complexity. A man down. They lose the top set of racks. One more racks between them and Megas. Shot goes out. Will connect. Derp Derp goes down. They get 2. But it looks like Wheel already out the door. And this could be it for Complexity. Charging down the mid lane. This is their best chance. With both exorcisms down, refreshers used, Omni Knight dead, no Guardian Angel. This is their only chance to try to make a game out of it. Now, it is just game number 1. They have a chance to... Either team has a chance to bounce back in game 2. But if... They
have to run down, hit the tier 4 towers, force out the rotations, hope to God that their tier 4 stands. The lone tier 4 back at the Radiant base. Hope to God nobody bots in, and also go for the throne while killing all 5 of the heroes, force them to buy back, and then going again. We'll see, man. It's a tall order.
They're going right for tier 4s. They get a nice move onto Mike with the burst. Now Troll right-clicking him in. He could go down. He will. 90 seconds. He might need to use his buyback here. Relic used up. Sleesel moving forward. No Aegis. Uses the cheese, comes back, and now he gets locked down. He could be going down. He will. Does have a buyback.
Radiant Ancient, they have to TP home. They have to TP home. Relic's already in the base. He's going for it all. He'll Yule's up. And right now, they're still fighting the base. They get Ziz. They're turning it around. No buyback for the Troll. This game is going to end with Relic right-clicking the Ancient. They pop the Glyph. Swindle back at the dire side. He goes down. 3 dead, 4 dead. That's it. GG is called an epic ending. Despite an otherwise unfortunate situation, Simba not able to reconnect to the game. 4 versus 5. Will play it phenomenally well, but it could have been a lot closer had they had their 5th player, Dakota.
Yeah, if, ands, and buts, and it just sucks to have to say it like that, because what could have been a very close and epic game ends like that. Well, it's not over, though. It's a best of 3. Complexity will have a chance to bounce back in game 2 to take it to a game 3. I imagine that Fly will not be around for it, and they will be bringing in a stand-in for that 5th spot, which is also no good, as this is a very crucial series, and they're going to be putting a lot on this mysterious fifth man, or woman, I guess, to kind of bring the game back. But we're obviously going to be way behind here as far as schedule, because that game took an awfully long time to get finished. So without further ado, we're just going to go right into game 2. I'm KotLGuy, that's Maut. Stick around, more Dota coming right up.
G2A.com, the best video game store ever! Fast as lightning, solid as a rock, cheap as duck! What's more, you can sell on it because it's also a marketplace. Remember, G2A.com, the best video game store ever!